announced today she's running for minority leader in the next Congress, saying she wants to protect all the achievements from her tenure as Speaker.
Now, many say she should go because it was Pelosi at the helm of a disastrous election for Democrats in the House.
But former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich is not one of those people. He says Nancy Pelosi is doing the right thing, and he joins us now. All right, the right thing, although in the face of a dismal election, sir, how can you say that? I mean, if it were a CEO running a company, they might can that CEO.
Well, I mean, the CEO in the Democrat debacle of last Tuesday, when more than 60 Democrats were returned to sender, was President Obama and the National Democratic Party. It's not Nancy Pelosi. If I were to walk down my block, the block I live on, I'd be surprised if more than 3 out of 10 people knew who Nancy Pelosi was. The Democrats took a beating on Tuesday because the Democratic leadership, and in particular the president, failed to fix the economy. We didn't change the economy like we promised to do 2 years ago. Unemployment actually went up 50% since the fall of 2008. You can't pin that on Nancy Pelosi.
Well,
that's
Governor, hold on a second.
larger
Governor,
issue.
It wasn't just Republicans that were pinning it on Nancy Pelosi. A lot of Democratic ads in places like Virginia, very far away from Washington, were focusing on Nancy Pelosi. You say she had no name recognition. She had name recognition everywhere. Democrats as well as Republicans were running away from her in the election.
Well, I think what the Republicans did, and I think what the White House unfortunately is doing, and they're trying to shift the blame and the responsibility of what happened on Tuesday, is to make her appear to be the embodiment of everything that's liberal and terrible in America. I'm not saying that the Democratic caucus should necessarily re-elect her. I'm saying she has every right to run again, and I suspect, based upon the fact that so many of the so-called blue dog moderate Democrats were defeated in the last election, what you're probably going to see is a more liberal Democratic caucus. The African-American caucus, Mr. Clybourne's talking about running. You'll probably see some political horse trading there. The Progressive caucus, a lot of women. I think Nancy Pelosi has a very good chance to be reelected, and she'll probably run against Steny Hoyer again. They may even work it out.
I was just going to say, why not Steny Hoyer, who perhaps strikes a more conciliatory tone with his compatriots across the aisle?
Well, again, that's a question for the Democratic caucus to decide. Nancy Pelosi, in my judgment, has every right to run for Speaker again. She's the one who actually, as minority leader, led the Democrats to victory in 2006. Again, I think it's more of a function of national politics than it has to do with any individual speaker. There are some exceptions.
We got to run, sir, but are you ever running for anything again?
Well, I'm not ruling out a comeback, and let me just say, in your previous segment, you had the song Return to Sender with Elvis. That was in the movie Girls, 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 filmed in Hawaii, and his co-star was Stella Stevens.
and all we're missing is your rendition of it, but we've literally run out of time. Former Governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming in.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.